So I'll start with just a quick introduction of what this project is about, and then I'll go through the detail of the 3 different work streams that we have worked on, and then just some high-level conclusions and future plans. So yeah, as I said, my name is Sandro. I'm a lead analytical consultant at Merkel Aquila. So for those that are not familiar, Merkel Aquila is a data analytics company. So we help clients take the best information from their data and turn that into insights that they can help them make better decisions. So in our company, we have an internal initiative that we call the Giving Back Route, and we run several different events from fundraising to environment responsibility. But we thought like other companies could do a similar thing, and we wanted to do something different. We wanted to share our skills with charities, so our expertise in data analytics. So we started this pro bono initiative that we called Skills Sharing, and we found a charity called Stop the Traffic, which is a charity it's a global charity that tries to prevent human trafficking. So we started this relationship in July last year, and so these are the 3 work streams that we have helped them with. So the first one was just a data audit in some data that they were collecting. The second one is a social media listening project, and the third one, text categorization. And for the 3 of them, I played a very important role. So the first one, the data audit. So they are collecting data, so they have some volunteers at Stop the Traffic collecting data from online articles and news websites, and they are saving that in a spreadsheet. So there were different people collecting the data. There was no standard format, so of course we had to do a data audit to try to find inconsistencies and just to evaluate if the format was fit for analysis. So after doing that, we cleaned the data as much as we could. We tried to keep the data consistent and in a good format so that we could do data analytics. And we try to do this in an automated way, so because of course they are still collecting data and we want to just run this process when they have more data. We don't want to start from the beginning. So some examples on how we clean the data. So the first one was trying to find duplicate information, because of course different people are collecting this information from probably different sources but about the same incident. So we tried to identify different rows that looked very similar, and we just kept one so that we had only 1 row per incident. We also created some lookup tables just to make sure that the fields were consistent. For example, for the country where the incident happened, sometimes we had values like US, USA, United States, and of course this is the same country. So we had these all possible combinations, and we try to group that to be just 1 value. And also we try to apply some functions to identify some spelling mistakes. So if there was a country that we couldn't find in our lookup table, but it was very similar to one, we would just replace with that one. Also, we try to find standard ways of having the data. So for example, for missing values, there were different ways that people were inserting missing values, and we had just 1 consistent way of having that. And also fit formats. So if you have, for example, trafficker's age, of course, we expect this to be a number. So sometimes it had like the word years, so we remove those kind of things to just have a number there. And also, we just reformatted the data to be in a good format, so we could do some visualization, some analysis, because, for example, there were a few fields that they had a list of values. So, for example, number of victims, sometimes we had 10 males, 10 females, so we just created 2 additional columns to have number of victims that are males, number of victims that are females, and that way we know that we'll just have 1 value there. So with this piece of work, not only we help them have a better quality data set, but also they are following most of these recommendations. Now they are collecting more data. So the second one is the social media. So they had 3 main objectives with this, and we focused on Twitter. So they wanted to follow particular topics, so around human trafficking, labor exploitation. Also, they wanted to follow particular hashtags. So when they were launching campaigns, they were adding an hashtag to that campaign. So they wanted to follow the tweets with that hashtag, and also to see their own timeline. So we found this package called TweetR, and that seemed widely used for this particular type of analysis, and that was using the Twitter API to get tweets, but it hasn't been updated recently, so it had some limitations. So the tweets weren't truncated, for example, to 140 characters. So we found this other package. It didn't have as much information online as the other one, but they had a very good online support and regular updates, so it was perfect for what we needed. And the main outcome from this was just have a visualization that they could see, okay, they want to follow this particular topic, and is there a way of quickly seeing what people are talking about this topic? So we have used the package word cloud to just build some word clouds. So for example, here, it's a word cloud about human trafficking. So of course, human trafficking are the most common terms, but we can see some other related terms like modern slavery, sex trafficking, Epstein. So with this piece of work, we help them track trends and see what people are talking about as they happen, to try to be more aware of incidents that maybe it would take them months to be aware of, and also just have a measure of engagement with their own posts. And finally, the last one was this categorization model. So they launched campaigns, so they launched these sponsored posts on Facebook, and they were interested to see the general sentiment around those campaigns and the effectiveness of them. So they were collecting some of the comments on those posts, on those sponsored posts, and they were categorizing them manually. They wanted us to help having an automated way of having that classification. So what we did was we took those comments, we did some feature engineering, so we captured some general text features, so like number of words, length of the comment. We also tried to capture the writing style. So for example, if the person was overusing punctuation, overusing capital letters, then we used the package TM to clean the data, to remove stop words, to keep only alphanumeric characters, and we applied word stemming, and after that we identified keywords that we were flagging if the comment contained those words or not. And after that we built some logistic regression models. So we built these target variables for each of the categories that we were interested in. Then now when we have more data, so when they launch a campaign, we can just apply this to the comments, and the highest probability will be the category that we associate to that particular comment, and the output will be just a general sentiment of the comments. So say, okay, we did this campaign, and from the comments, we see that 40% of the comments show awareness, 20% are just irrelevant, and so on. So this is just a piece that we are working on to integrate in a report. That's still work in progress, that will not only have this text categorization model, but will also integrate some other sources like Google Trends, YouTube, and Twitter. And just to end, so of course this is a pro bono initiative, so having this powerful analytical tool available for free made EARL the perfect choice. Also, we were dealing, in the beginning we didn't know the type of task that we wanted to do, so we wanted a tool that was flexible. So we did things like a data audit, text analysis, and this tool was perfect for that because it had that flexibility. And also, it's so easy to then adapt a code that we already have to a similar problem. So we did this text categorization based on comments on Facebook, but of course we can do this in other type of comments and some other text data. And so we have some new next steps, so that we think will be really useful in this partnership. So we expect to have more data about incidents, and we expect to, for example, use Shiny to build a dashboard on that, and just to get some more insights based on that. Also, right now, we are exploring the Translate R package that uses the Google Translate API because they launch campaigns in other languages, and it would be really good to just translate that text into English and then apply this work that we have been doing. And also just to end, of course, as I mentioned, this is a pro bono initiative, and we have been working across with different client commitments and in different locations. Merkel Aquila's office is here in London, but also in Edinburgh, where I'm from, and in Derby. So we have worked with across these 3 different locations in our spare time. So it was quite hard, but also quite rewarding. And also we believe that not only we have these outcomes from these particular work streams, but this particular partnership is helping stop the traffic also to be more analytical driven and more data oriented. Thank you.